Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Brandy, your trusted realtor, and I'm coming to you with another great episode. But this time, I want to spend a little bit of time talking to you about my thoughts. I was walking through the neighborhood, and if you all don't know, I think I mentioned this before. I'm running for an office for Ward 7 Dems, doing canvassing, and I'm just kind of looking around at the overall neighborhood. I live in Ward 7, and the thought to me came of how owning a home is a privilege, not a right. And I begin to correlate that to the same sentiment of driving. If any of you have ever been in traffic court, there's one thing a judge will tell you, no matter what excuse you give them, is that driving is a privilege, not a right. You're not entitled to drive, no matter if you tell them I got to get to work, I got to pay bills, etc. They'll tell you, hey, you have a right or you have a responsibility to be a responsible driver. You have to be on the road. You have to be conscious of others. You have to obey the laws and the speed limits. And I began to think to myself, that is tantamount, equal to being not only a homeowner, but being someone who is invested in your community. So today I want to spend a little bit of time talking to you about my thoughts and really starting a debate, a discussion about why I think and feel that owning a home is a privilege and not a right. So I won't be before you long. I just want to talk about the realities of home ownership. Home ownership, much like a buoy in a pool, is the realization that everything around you impacts not only you and your property, but you and that property's value. And the potential impact of that is significant, it's tremendous. A lot of times people will buy a home or they feel that they should stick to themselves or it's within their own communities. But the challenge then becomes is that no man or no woman is an island unto themselves. And the need for us to engage as a community is so much more profound when we begin to peel back the layers of what homeownership means in the broader sense of the matrix of community. We all are buying a piece of the American dream, if you think about it. And with that piece of the American dream comes a kind of an inherent responsibility to look after the community, to care for the community, to be responsive to the community. And then I began to think as I walked through the neighborhood, it should come to as no surprise to any of you who are familiar with DC or Ward 7 specifically, is that gentrification is just a real thing. Being in this area for the last 4 or 5 years, specifically in Southeast, things look different in just the course of 5 years. And you realize that it is truly a privilege to be able to call a place home. I remember I was sitting outside one day and just randomly a seagull plopped down in the middle of the street. And I was just so taken aback. I was like, this is a seagull. It's like the pigeon of the sea, just right here in my street. But that's the reality of owning just a little piece of DC, being able to go just right around the corner and take a kayak and go kayaking, or go right up the road and be at the nation's capital, or just be able to call this whole little area my little respite away from home, or my away from work and everything else, not away from home. And so it becomes, to me, I just got that overwhelming sense or that realization that it really is a privilege to be able to call any place, no matter where you live, home. And I think in that privilege, we have certain rights that are given to us. You have the right not to be discriminated against. You have the right to quiet enjoyment. You have all these different rights that are associated with your property. And but one of the things I think that we all have a responsibility to, and its priority, is to make sure that we care for our neighborhood. And that means caring for the spaces outside of it. Being an advocate for systematic change, being an advocate for improvement. That also is being an advocate for awareness. And I also even find in my community that there's this duality. For me personally, I find that there's this duality occurring because in one hand, there's a big move by DC city government to have more affordable housing and access to more affordable housing. And I think the mayor wanted to add like some 200 additional affordable housing units. But on the other hand, I have pause because I don't necessarily think affordable housing needs to be concentrated into one specific area or ward or location. And so being a member of a community and having the privilege to own also means having to keep guard, to keep post, and to keep watch over the things that are occurring around us, so that way you can just incrementally make changes that are going to systematically improve the life and well-being of everyone. So from one homeowner to either future homeowners or existing homeowners, what I say is, I just sometimes I'm here and I just be thinking, and in me thinking, I thought about just the true connection and relationship just between the priority, the privilege, and the responsibility, just unspoken, of being a homeowner. So didn't want to take a whole bunch of time. Did want to give you a little bit of what I was thinking about. Hopefully you guys have an amazing day. I'm Brandon. I'm your trusted realtor for all of your real estate needs. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. And I look forward to coming back with all of the latest real tea here in the DMV and everywhere else. Take care. Talk to you soon.